After 13 years of running Star Wars into the ground, it looks like Kathleen Kennedy's time over at Lucasfilm is finally coming to an end.
I have exorcised the demons. This house is clear.
After Disney bought Star Wars, I was actually really excited for the future of Star Wars and to get more Star Wars content. When The Force Awakens released, while there were a lot of similarities between The Force Awakens and A New Hope, I was still optimistic about the future of Star Wars and I was looking forward to the next film. However, in 2017, The Last Jedi hit theaters and that was it. You could clearly see the direction that they were taking Star Wars in. And while Kathleen Kennedy wanted to flip the franchise and make it more of a girl brand by, saying the Force is female, it really didn't end up that way.
She's a powerful leader. Yes.
Now, I'm a woman, right? I should be all in full support of Kathleen Kennedy and her mission to make Star Wars a girl brand, but I'm not.
We are the spark that will light the fire that will restore the Republic.
I've dealt with plenty of trigger-happy flyboys like you. You're impulsive, dangerous, and the last thing we need right now.
Afraid you'd say that. Vice Admiral Holdo, I am relieving you of your command for the survival of this ship, its crew, and the Resistance.
Star Wars is something that I grew up with, that I've loved since I was a little girl. They didn't need to change it, they just had to continue on with some really good storytelling. Unfortunately, Rian Johnson didn't agree with that. The destruction of the characters that we knew and loved in the Star Wars franchise was simply unforgivable.
Change your hair.
Same jacket.
No, new jacket.
They could give us these new characters, yes, but at the expense of the old characters that everyone had grown to love.
I bypassed the compressor.
Huh.
How does it feel to have lived long enough to see all of your favorite franchises go down in flames?
Feels great.
And there was so much excitement around Star Wars, especially after The Force Awakens came out. I was binging and watching so many theory videos about what could happen in the future. Rey's lineage, who is Snoke, is Finn going to become a Jedi? There were so many great theory videos, so much excitement surrounding Star Wars. And then The Last Jedi came around and completely shit on all of those theories.
They were nobody.
They were filthy junk traders.
We learned that there was absolutely no plan for these 3 Star Wars movies, and in fact, J.J. Abrams had to come back to try and fix what Rian Johnson completely destroyed in his previous film, and we ended up getting Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, which was such a joke of a movie bringing back Palpatine.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
And then they tried to do the Star Wars stories movie, right? So we got Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which is arguably the best out of the crap that we've gotten from Star Wars. And then we got Solo, a Star Wars story, which further destroyed the Star Wars franchise.
What's your name, son?
Han.
What? Who are your people?
I don't have people. I'm alone.
Solo.
They even went as far in that movie to destroy the character of the Millennium Falcon, a ship, by inserting the unpopular character of L337 into the ship, therefore making that droid a part of the ship. Yes, the droid that fought for droid rights is a part of the Millennium Falcon. I completely forgot about that. But they weren't done. They were not done destroying Star Wars. They just moved it over to Disney+. And it kind of started off a little strong with The Mandalorian. A lot of people liked that show. I wasn't one of them. I wasn't getting really excited about these Star Wars shows that were on Disney+, simply because I was already disappointed in what Disney was doing with Star Wars. I didn't want to be disappointed even further. So I didn't get incredibly invested in The Mandalorian show, although a lot of people really did love it. But after a strong season 1, the show did slowly go downhill, especially after the firing of Gina Carano. That was a huge misstep for Disney. Firing Gina Carano and lying about why she was fired and misinterpreting the things that she had said, while at the same time having the backs of some of your other actors and not firing them for saying even worse things. But because they were the politically correct things to say, there were no consequences for those actors.
I was fired February 2021. So, okay, this life doesn't matter. We messed up. This life doesn't matter. Let's just kind of like push her off to the side. And they're trying to pretend like it's not a big deal. When it is, their stocks plummeted from the day that they let me go. And they know it's a big deal, but they're trying to pretend like it's not.
Disney and a bunch of mainstream journalists decided to do the one thing that you're not supposed to do: attack the fans. Star Wars and the media started blaming toxic fans, calling them racist, sexist, misogynistic, and toxic.
You serious?
Yes, there's no better way to garner support from the public and inviting people into your franchise than attacking them when they don't like the product that you are putting out. Good job, Star Wars. Then we got the Book of Boba Fett, which was honestly an embarrassment. It only lasted 1 season. And the only thing that was really memorable about the Book of Boba Fett were like the biker gang. At this point, Kathleen Kennedy, Disney Star Wars was really suffering. They needed to bring in an audience, and what better way to do that than to reunite Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor, and teasing that bringing back together is going to be the rematch of the century.
I can't wait for you guys to witness the rematch of the century. This is where the fun begins.
Which makes absolutely no sense considering the timeline of events, but here we are. Obi-Wan Kenobi was a joke of a show. But it didn't really get off to a great start either, when you have the star of your show, Ewan McGregor, coming out and attacking fans because they allegedly attacked the real star of the show, which was Moses Ingram.
It seems that some of the fan base, from this influential fan base, have decided to attack Moses Ingram online. She's a brilliant woman, and she's absolutely amazing in this series. We stand with Moses. We love Moses. You're no Star Wars fan in my mind. I totally stand with Moses.
And again, you attack your fans, they're not going to watch your show. Disney once again destroyed the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi. They made him incompetent and irresponsible, while propping up and giving some sort of redemption to this new character of Reva, played by the diverse woman.
Tell me where the Jedi is, or this man and his family die!
And then we had Andor, which was one of the better shows that no one watched. This show was praised and it is getting a season 2, but no one came to watch that show. And then there's Ahsoka, that came out in 2023, and they did again what they did with Obi-Wan Kenobi. They brought back fan favorite Hayden Christensen, and more people tuned into Ahsoka, not just because she is a fan favorite character, but mostly to see Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, no kidding. Gotta keep up.
You're a warrior now, as I trained you to be.
You lack conviction.
While people initially came in to watch Ahsoka, viewership slowly dwindled. By the time you got to the finale, there was a 40% drop in viewership. And then we get to the most divisive Star Wars show, The Acolyte.
I dropped the diss track.
Arguably the gayest Star Wars, I think, by a considerable margin.
Well, Anakin just killed a whole Death Star. How many people died on that?
Yes, yes.
This only got 1 season, and while the hashtag Renew the Acolyte sometimes, occasionally will still trend on Twitter, it's not getting a season 2. Created by Leslie Headland, she basically made a Star Wars show about her own life, starring Amanda Stenberg.
Are you excited about that? Are you
Not the
bracing
gayest
yourself?
Star Wars. Not the...
It's pretty gay, let's be honest. How do you feel?
Am I gay? Yes.
Well, no, I know
Yeah.
you are gay, but I'm asking, are you excited about putting this, this is going to be a talking point?
Is it going to be a talking point?
I'm sure so.
Because nerds are gay.
Some nerds are very not gay and are very threatened by gay
Well, that's
stuff.
true. But
Yeah.
in my world, nerds are gay.
This show completely messed with the lore of Star Wars, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of people had a problem with it. Not only that, it felt like it was just completely making a mockery of Star Wars.
The power of one. The power of two. The power of many.
And then not only that, you have the actress Amanda Stenberg coming out with a diss track because people didn't like her character in Star Wars, and she took that as a personal attack.
this?
I dropped a diss track.
That's what I heard.
And then after all of that, after years and years and years of providing us with garbage content, this news was announced late last night. Kathleen Kennedy will be stepping down from her role as president of Lucasfilm. Now, there have been years and years and years of rumors that Kathleen Kennedy was going to quit, Kathleen Kennedy was going to be fired, Kathleen Kennedy was going to retire, and none of those rumors ever came to fruition. I personally was even hesitant to believe this when it came out, simply because it was being reported by Puck News. I had absolutely no idea what Puck News is, and in order to read this article, you kind of had to sign up, and I wasn't going to do that. Mainstream outlets were reporting on it as well. Variety came out, Star Wars boss Kathleen Kennedy is planning to exit Lucasfilm at the end of 2025. So basically, she ran Star Wars into the ground. And who knows if there's any hope of recovering. It's basically become a meme now.
Put another gay diverse woman in it, make it more fucking lame. Where the fuck is Bob Iger? No, what's going on with my stars? No, Kathleen Kennedy.
We were just discussing ideas of what to do with the new Prince Eric movie.
Put a chick in it, make her gay. Put a chick in it and make her lame and gay. Put a diverse woman in it, make it lame.
Bambi's a baby deer.
Fuck baby deer, put a chick in it, make her gay.
The linguine and clam sauce.
Excuse me. I believe I asked you to put a chick in this and make her gay.
I also love that they mention in here that Kathleen Kennedy oversaw 2023's Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, the fifth and final film in the Harrison Ford-led series. The action-adventure, which relaunched the property after 15 years, was a catastrophic failure. Dial of Destiny generated $383 million globally against a $295 million budget, ultimately losing $140 million for the studio. Forbes even put out an article, Kathleen Kennedy reportedly leaving Lucasfilm, but can new leadership save Star Wars? Honestly, I don't think so. One of the most controversial figures in modern Star Wars, could be bowing out by the end of 2025, according to a new report. She's bowing out as Star Wars slides further and further into cultural and commercial irrelevance. The last two Disney Plus Star Wars series were unmitigated failures.
And yet people have told me that it's the gayest Star Wars, and I frankly...
You're offended?
Into it. No.
The Acolyte and Skeleton Crew had the worst viewership numbers in the entire franchise.
She's a powerful leader. Yes, yes.
It talks about how both Solo: A Star Wars Story and Indiana Jones: Dial of Destiny were huge box office failures. Solo was the first Star Wars film to actually lose money. And it's been over 5 years since the release of Rise of Skywalker. We have yet to see another Star Wars film hit theaters, although many projects have been announced. Now, this headline I 100% agree with. Kathleen Kennedy or not, Star Wars is already dead. The announcement comes a mere 13 years too late to save Lucasfilm and the movie-going world, which would have been far better off had she never taken the reins in the first place. I absolutely agree. Star Wars is already dead. I don't think that her retirement is going to resuscitate the brand in any way, and it's sad to say that, but that's the absolute truth. Disney, Star Wars, Lucasfilm completely alienated their fan base to the point where they really just wanted to cater to a small minority of people, and in doing so, ruined the franchise. So much so that there's complete Star Wars apathy. Nobody really cares about Star Wars anymore. By not really focusing on what fans wanted, which was really good storytelling, and instead tried to pander to a small minority and try to change the brand of Star Wars and bring in this modern audience or bring in more female viewers, you completely ruined Star Wars. There was nothing wrong with Star Wars. It was already diverse. It was already rich in storytelling. You just had to continue that. But instead, Kathleen Kennedy had her own agenda to make the Force female, to completely change the landscape of Star Wars, allowing the creators, actors, and even the brand itself attack fans and call them racist, sexist, misogynist, toxic fans. When in reality, those fans really just wanted to like what you were putting out. It's just the quality of the content was terrible, lore-breaking. And let's face it, being attacked by the creators and the actors didn't sit well with people. And instead of Kathleen Kennedy getting respect, love, and gratitude for her time at Lucasfilm, this news is being met with exasperated groans like, finally, the person responsible for running Star Wars into the ground, finally, she's leaving. She's being met with celebration, but for all the wrong reasons. And you know what? She deserves it. She ruined Star Wars. I have no sympathy for her. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Leave a like and let me know what you guys think in those comments down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.